everybody, welcome to Bura. In this episode, I'll be talking about how Dyson, the vacuum cleaner, has been working on robotics for the last 10 years. Alright, welcome back. So, this is really awesome. Dyson, the company that's made like Roombas and vacuum cleaners, apparently has been investing into robotics for the last 10 years without anybody knowing it. And it's building robots that can do household chores. Now, there's a lot to unpack here, but first of all, if you don't know, Dyson made a very revolutionary vacuum cleaner, and then it has taken the world by storm. And believe it or not, Roombas are actually quite old. They're like 15, almost 15 years old. They're older than that. Point is, Roombas, in theory, could be a very big time-saving device here. And what's interesting about this, Apple co-founder Steve Wozniak has said that, where is the robot to wash my car? And this is something that's really interesting. Robotics hasn't really kept up with a lot of the software on like phones, etc. And I think robotics in this decade is going to be huge, right? And the reason is that there are so many opportunities and there's just so much more for the technology to go here. Now, there's lots of integral parts to the robot here. There's first the actual robot that can go around in human space. Second is the vision. And third is making the decisions based on all of those things. And that's really hard to do. Humans do this extremely well, but robots have a huge problem with this. So this is interesting. The other thing I should mention is that one of the biggest productivity devices that was ever created was the washer and the dryer. People used to wash and dry their clothes, and it would take up so much of their time here. And if you've ever lived in an apartment without a washer and dryer, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So when you have a washer and dryer nearby, it makes life a lot easier. And if you can have a robot that basically just cleans up your house, that will be a huge time saver as well. Just doing the dishes, etc. Now, of course, we have a dishwasher, right? And dishwashers are also pretty good here, but it looks like there are other things that need to be done here because, of course, not everything can go in the dishwasher here. So this video is really interesting here. It talks about all the things that it's doing. For example, it's been investing in robotics for the last 10 years here. But what's interesting is it also has a vision component here. And what I find really interesting about the vision component is that you can see that it's starting to recognize things, if I can find the exact footage here. But anyway, it's starting to recognize things, which I think is really, really interesting. And, as machine learning libraries like TensorFlow and all these deep vision libraries are free, the companies can go pour resources into them to make all these products a lot better than they currently are here. So I find this to be really interesting here. Now, remember, I did a video about the comma and the comma body here, and the comma body is supposed to be something that moves around in real time here in human space, and it has this little thing here, and it also has a knee, and I don't know if that's, here. So it's basically has a knee here, and comma is also in this space here where it's making their vision open source here. So this could be really interesting. And what I really like about this is that comma does such a good job at the driving here. You might see commas on Dyson equipment, which would be really cool here. But anyway, I would just want a robot that cleans everything up here just for the productivity sake here. And in this video, it's really funny. The person says he spends half of his life cleaning up after his kids. And if you have kids, you know exactly what I'm talking about here. So I find it to be quite interesting that Dyson is doing this here. I don't know of Apple that's doing this. I don't know if Apple's doing this. Tesla has the Tesla bot, but we don't know how that's going as well. Elon is very, his timelines are always pushed back here. And of course, because all this stuff is incredibly difficult here. And it's looking to hire around 700 engineers. So there's a huge hiring spree. So when it comes to this decade, there are many things that are going to be good for your portfolio. Machine learning is one. Cryptocurrency is another, even though the markets might be a little bit weird. Robotics is definitely another one, right? So those are the three things that's going to be thing. And don't forget the metaverse. So those are the four areas that you really want to focus on and learn here. So this is really, really interesting here. And this is the actual website. The thing is, this robot is not ready for commercial use, okay? It's kind of interesting that they can vacuum your chair here. But like this is definitely a prototype here. And these robots here, like the way that these robots work, there's motors in here that do things. And that's basically the best thing that we have here. doing stuff like this, like just picking up like a phone and manipulating it like this, that's really difficult for robots to do. And you can see that with this kind of robot here. But you know, you can see it's making dishes here, but it is very, very interesting stuff that Dyson's on there. Now, of course, Dyson wanted to make an electric car. That didn't work here. So there is a tech race here to see who gets to robotics the first here. Now, it could be Tesla. Hey, it could be even Comma, right? It could be Dyson. And I don't know if Apple's working on it. They probably are, but we haven't heard a single word from that here. So I want to know your thoughts down below. Would you buy a robot to clean up your dishes? Do you think it's going to be 10 or 20 years before this happens? Or is it going to be sooner? Please comment on this video. This channel does not get enough comments. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in another video.